Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The morning light slipped gently through the kitchen windows, catching the dust in the air like tiny stars. Ripa stood at the counter, phone in hand, scrolling past headlines she hadn't meant to read, but somehow couldn't avoid. Her name, Mark's name, words like truth, exposed, hidden. She sighed, not in anger, but in exhaustion. For years, the world had seen them as a perfect picture, laughing interviews, playful banter, a love that looked effortless. Fans believed they knew them. Maybe that was the hardest part. Because the truth, the painful one, was never what the headlines imagined. Mark Consuelos sat in the backyard, paint-stained hands resting on his knees, staring at a half-finished canvas. The colors were bold and messy, nothing like the polished life people associated with him. This was his hidden passion, not scandal, not betrayal, but something quieter and far more complicated: art. He had been painting for years in secret, not because Kelly wouldn't understand, but because he was afraid she would understand too well. When they first met, both of them were chasing dreams, driven by ambition and belief. Somewhere along the way, Mark learned how heavy expectations could become. Actor, husband, father, public figure. The painter inside him slowly learned to whisper instead of speak. Kelly found the paintings by accident. She had been looking for old photo albums in the storage room when she noticed a locked door, one she had never questioned before. Inside, canvases lined the walls. Some were raw and dark, others bright and hopeful. Many of them carried a familiar face, abstracted and broken into color. Her face. She didn't cry right away. She sat on the floor and let the truth settle into her chest. That night, at the kitchen table where they had shared thousands of ordinary moments, Kelly finally spoke. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked softly. Mark looked smaller somehow, like a man caught hiding something precious rather than doing something wrong. "I didn't want to disappoint you," he said. "I didn't want you to think I was chasing something childish while we were building a life." Kelly laughed once, sharp and surprised, and then her eyes filled. "You thought this would disappoint me?" The fans would later say they were heartbroken when rumors spread, when Kelly spoke publicly about a painful truth in an interview. But what she revealed wasn't betrayal, it was distance, silence, the quiet damage that comes from hiding parts of yourself from the person you love most. She admitted they had struggled, that loving someone doesn't mean always knowing them, that even strong marriages can bruise when fear replaces honesty. The internet, of course, twisted the story. Some wanted drama, others wanted villains. But the real heartbreak was simpler. Mark had been afraid to be fully seen, and Kelly had been hurt not because of what he loved, but because he thought he had to love it alone. Weeks later, Kelly invited friends to the house, not for a party, but for a small private showing. Mark's paintings hung in the living room, finally out in the open. He stood quietly in the corner, unsure, vulnerable. Kelly took his hand. "This," she said to the room, her voice steady, "is the part of my husband I wish I'd known sooner." Mark looked at her then, really looked, and understood something he had missed for years. Love doesn't shrink when you make room for yourself. It grows. The painful truth didn't end them. It remade them. And sometimes that's the kind of heartbreak that heals.